Hello and howdy, everybody. A couple days ago, I saw End of Watch. It's a new LA crime, gritty, urban tale. And it was really good. I was actually quite surprised by the film. The trailers never really interested me too much. I thought it would just be kind of standard fare, but it got really good reviews from the critics, and someone I personally know told me that I had to see it, and that it was awesome, and that it was really violent, and so I trust his taste, and knew that I had to see it, and I enjoyed it. I'm going to give it an 8. I was surprised. I thought it avoided conventionality. You know, it wasn't standard Hollywood fare. It was realistic, you know, in pretty much every aspect. The movie is about just, it's not a day in the life, but because if you think about it, time passes quite a bit during this film, so maybe more like 3 months in the life, 6 months in the life of LA, Los Angeles police officers. You've got two partners, and they work the hardest beat in LA, which would be South Central. So they have the worst part of town to police. And it's basically about their relationship, how they deal with their professional lives versus their personal lives, and just what it's like to be a police officer. You do get to see behind the curtain a bit. I'd say that it's no more so than what you have seen. I mean, if you've seen The Wire, then this certainly won't have any new ground for you. I mean, again, if you've seen many police movies, then you have seen this, but it tells a good story, and it is based on this one-on-one relationship between partners. The film, I think, is truly about the partnership. It reminded me a lot of Narc, Joe Carnahan's, I believe, debut film. It reminded me a lot of Narc. If you remember Narc and like it, then you'll definitely want to see this right away. Stars Jake Gyllenhaal, and I have the hardest time remembering everyone else's name in this movie. I mean, I recognize a lot of people, but their names, they just can't stick in my head. I know Anna Kendrick she's not in it a lot, but she's in it. She's looking more and more beautiful as time passes. Anna Kendrick is in it. There's a lot of other people in the movie that I sadly can't remember the names of. And, I mean, it depresses me that I can't remember the name of the Mexican dude, the co-lead. It's ridiculous that I can't remember his name. So I apologize for that. I also can't remember the name of the writer-director. He did write and direct the film. I had read somewhere that this is a debut film, which kind of impressed me. I mean, it definitely impressed me for it to be a debut. And as well, if you write and direct your own movie, that to me is impressive. That gets a point right there. And in terms of a, artistic expression. One thing I didn't, totally enjoy about the film, and sometimes it slipped into gimmick a little bit, but this is a handheld, movie. It's not found footage. I mean, it doesn't go that far, but this is hey, I'm working on a film project and I need to film what it's like to be a cop. So there's lots of handheld, DV work. I mean, you can even see the cameras in a lot of the shots. But it also, like, when it's inconvenient, it is not handheld. You know, then it becomes like shaky cam, not steady cam, but you know, someone holding a camera that's like it's handheld, but I mean it is, but it's not a character holding it. You know, it's, you know, a movie camera shooting everything. So I wish that, you know, they had stuck to their guns. If you're going to make it be a film project, then, you know, go all the way with it. But it really is all told that way. So, but it just seemed that sometimes they just went, okay, we can't show all the action, we can't show all the power of this scene with our, you know, clip-on, you know, small security cameras. We've got to show the full action. You know, so they switched to standard, you know, filmmaking cameras. I just, you know, again, I just wanted them to pick, you know, just like pick one way or the other, guys. Just, if you want to make a movie, just go ahead and you know, make it with the big, beautiful cameras. Or if you want to make it, you know, shaky and gritty, you know, do all handheld. That's fine. But just stick to your guns. Again, that's a minor complaint. That's like the only thing that I have a beef about the film. The acting is fantastic. I mean, that's what really grounds this film, is this complex relationship between the two police officers, the partners. I think they said that they've been partners for 8 years, something like that. So it really, this partnership really shows through. And the acting is really tremendous across the board. It's well written. I could have, you know, there's bad guys, there's gang members, there's cartel members in this. They seem to be slightly stereotypical. I could have used a lot more, or just, you know, some more background into the cartel. I mean, we just see them as angry Mexicans who get their, you know, money busted and their drug ring busted, and so they can't, they don't have their money, their drug ring is disabled, so they get mad and they want to kill the cops. I mean, period. That's it. I could have used a little bit more motivation on their part. You know, they even make jokes. The bad guy's name is called Big Evil. They asked Big Evil how he gets his name, Big Evil. There's no answer to that. I would have liked to have known how he got that name, Big Evil, besides the fact that he just mercilessly kills anyone who gets in his way. Again, pretty much standard fare. I don't want to go so far as to say cliche. I don't really think there's anything in the film that's cliche too much. But it's definitely, the bad guys are more, you know, caricatures than characters. It looked really good. You know, this film takes place in Los Angeles. I live in Los Angeles. There's always an element of enjoyment where a city or a film takes place in a city where you live, where there's great potential, and there is here, for inside jokes. You know, that if you don't live in LA, you're not necessarily going to get this reference, what have you. I really enjoyed the mixing of cultures. Even though that there's no real Asians represented, no, Persians represented here. This does represent like a big mix of the three big races in Los Angeles, and that's the Latino, the African American, and the Caucasian. They fill out the cast, and we see how they interact with each other. It's also I highly enjoyed watching this. It was nearly sold out, and this was in one of the larger auditoriums that I go to, and it was nearly sold out. I mean, there were seats here and there. There was an empty seat next to me, one empty seat next to me, thank God. But you know, it was interesting to see certain segments of the crowd laughing at certain jokes or situations that the other, parts of the crowd didn't really truly understand, and then, a little bit later, it would be the opposite, a certain other demographic would be finding something funny while the other demographics were like just, like, oh, okay. So it really played to the crowd, and especially that Los Angeles crowd, which is incredibly diverse. So I really enjoyed that aspect of how it showed the differences of our cultures while bringing us together. I enjoyed that, the togetherness. I don't really know what else to say other than that I thought it was a surprisingly good movie. I didn't think it was going to be that good, and highly surprised. So that's about it. I can't really think of anything else, but I had a good time and I enjoyed it, and I think it's a solid 8. Definitely a surprise highlight of the year. All right, thank you.